everybody, and welcome to Technically Correct. We're Geeks Who Drink, and here's how this whole thing works. In the first round, our director AJ will give us some questions from the Geeks Who Drink archives. We panelists will have 2 minutes to debate and then finally choose an answer for the group. At the end of the 2 minutes, we'll decide on our final answer, and AJ will tell us if we're right. Lather, rinse, repeat. If you're watching this live, hi Pio's mom. He's not here today, sorry. We're watching the chat. Please chime in if you have anything witty or interesting to say about the question, but whatever you do, please don't shout out the answers. We can be wrong all by ourselves. Before we get started, let's meet our panel. From Chicago, it's our favorite youngin', Naaim. He looks young.
Yeah, there I am.
Yeah. And back this week is Geeks Who Drink managing editor, Eric Keel. Sure, it's his job to read every question, but he hasn't seen these ones in a while, so let's hope you forgot. And joining us again to defend his perfect record, it's Derek. Good luck against that guy who's seen all the questions.
Pio's mom has got it going on. We hope she's out there and watching our little song.
I'm pretty sure Pio's mom turned it off once Nicole said he's not here today.
I didn't know that I was spoiling the surprise. Pio's mom, come back. Maybe she'll watch the replay if she
probably will, and then she'll feel embarrassed.
Oh, before we spoil anything else, maybe we should get started. AJ, what's our first question?
Our first question of the evening. In the forgettable 2014 film Draft Day, the Browns GM was played by what Oscar-winning mayonnaise golem?
Yay, the mayonnaise golem is back.
Mayonnaise golem.
Does that mean a boring
I was
white
always
man?
a proponent of the mayonnaise golem. I don't understand why people were freaked out by the phrase mayonnaise golem. I didn't understand why people didn't understand what a mayonnaise golem was.
I don't know. What's a mayonnaise golem?
You know what a golem is?
Something Jewish. They come to life.
Something Jewish, they come to life.
Am I wrong?
Eric, why don't you explain what a golem is? Well, you're on mute, though. I mean, nobody can hear you, Eric, but boy, we'd love to. Now you're on mute, super on mute. Now, still can't hear anything you're saying.
Fantastic.
Anyway, what a golem is yeah, it's a magical being made of clay that comes to life and does the bidding. And a mayonnaise golem would be made of mayonnaise, super white.
Yeah, I got it, right? A thing comes to life, Jewish mythology, whiteness.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cliff Notes, got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Eric, you there?
No.
So you got a little thing clicked on your headset, or what's up?
You
His cat probably turned off his headset.
Eric just fine before. I don't know what happened.
You know, he's probably screwing with us. He's probably miming.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he minored in mime in college. You can see him get out of a box. Yeah. Boy, walking against the wind. That's my favorite bit, though. Anyway, we've only got like 40 seconds left.
Okay.
I know the answer. Do you know the answer?
I know the answer. I don't think Nicole knows the answer.
I don't think Nicole gets the mayonnaise golem reference that has been around now for a while in Geeks Who Drink
I thought
canon.
I knew. I was embodying the audience.
Oh, I'm embodying myself.
I was the avatar for our viewers.
Okay.
You have here arguably two mayonnaise golems.
There he is.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. As the inventor of the phrase mayonnaise golem, I'll say that it's good possibly you have at least one in any Geeks Who Drink meeting or product.
So an uncharismatic white man, huh?
Yeah, I'll volunteer for that assignment.
Very bland.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner's right.
Costner.
Kevin
Oh,
Costner.
but he
Draft Day.
was the bodyguard.
Well, I mean, Whitney Houston wasn't a mayonnaise golem.
No,
He certainly was.
Rest in peace, Whitney. All right. It seems like we're right. I didn't even get to say final answer. Thanks for that, AJ.
He was also the token mayonnaise golem in Hidden Figures.
Oh, yes, he was. Yes, he was. Now, is AJ with us still?
Of course I am.
Okay, I was about to say, if we lose AJ, do we have Eric
We're just
the other way
cycling
around?
Yep.
He needed to, in Hidden Figures, because he had to save the day because he was the only white dude. Didn't he like take
He wasn't the
down
only
a
white dude.
sign.
He wasn't the only white dude because there was also a racist white dude. You have to have
Oh,
both.
right. Also, we heard
Oh.
the voice of John Glenn. Not real John Glenn, but like somebody who was supposed to be
Some
John
white
Glenn.
guy playing John Glenn.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Our producer is pointing out that Jim Parsons also saved the day.
No, Jim Parsons was the racist white dude, wasn't he? Was he? I thought did he stop being racist by the end of the movie?
Yes, because he was impressed with their computational skills.
When
Gotcha.
confronted with something that went against his long-held belief, he changed his mind. New information came in, and he changed his mind. Which
What I'll say is, listen, Hidden Figures is a great sports movie. It's just that the sport is NASA.
At the end of the film, Jim Parsons said, "Gals, you really hid those figures." I
the
admire you."
sport is math.
It's basically the same movie as 42, except instead of Jackie Robinson,
It's true. Yeah.
It's Katherine Johnson.
Yeah, you got one
Same
dude
movie.
yelling racist epithets, you got another dude embracing him, and then they all meet in the middle.
Yeah, I would rather have Harrison Ford than Kevin Costner, but like I get it, teach their own.
Yeah, that seems right. Okay, well, I'm glad that we've solved that. Stories of Black resilience in sports and NASA are following the same script.
Their real stories obviously had differences, but the movies were pretty much the same.
The same Hollywood script, if you will.
Yeah.
All right, AJ, what's our next question?
Our second question this evening. They don't change tires, but they do have lovely underarms. What's the name for the muscly assistants on RuPaul's Drag Race?
Gentlemen,
My sister would know
Drag
this.
Race fans?
I've seen one season of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
Uh,
One of my sister's favorite shows. She always goes to see the drag queens live when they come to town. And I'm just going to go with the clues here. So I've formulated an opinion in my mind what the answer is.
Naaim, what you know about Drag Race?
I have also formulated an opinion, which I would guess is probably the same opinion as Derek's. I have not seen Drag Race. I don't have cable. I appreciate RuPaul. I think RuPaul is great. I hear great things about Drag Race from all the people I know who do watch Drag Race. Is it on? I don't even know what network it's on. Is it on Bravo?
it was on Logo at one point, but I believe
Logo?
it's moved since.
Yeah, I think it probably got too big for Logo. It's won like a bunch of Emmys.
It's like the consistently the best reality competition, right?
Yeah.
Crushing the Emmy, 3 or 4 years in a row now. I
So
think.
it might surprise you, gentlemen. I've never seen RuPaul's Drag Race, but I think I've come.
What?
I know. I'm
So
sorry.
we've seen more RuPaul's Drag Race than you have.
Yeah. Well,
Are you busy off doing smart person stuff
I
again?
have 11 jobs. We talk about this every week. That's the exact number of jobs I have. But I think maybe I'm on the same track as you both, Derek and Naaim, that there's an underarm hint and something, like it's a race. And so like, is it the pit crew?
I mean, that was what
what I would
initially I
logic
was
out.
like, it's either Pit Crew or Jax. And I mean, it could be, say, Jack, come change my tire there. A little Elvis, but TCB, baby. But probably not.
What is this accent?
I don't.
I'm sorry, what? You
What
know,
is this accent?
what accent is Southern Elvis? It's Elvis, baby. It's 70s Elvis.
Okay.
Fat Elvis.
All right.
No, I'll buy
Say,
that.
Jack, TCB.
I wasn't there. I can only assume that you're correct.
It's better than Cookie Monster from last week. So.
Oh, well, I wasn't here last week, so
I believe it is
maybe we'll do
there.
Cookie Monster later. But I agree with you,
P.O.'s
Nicole.
George Lucas.
I agree with you that it is probably Pit Crew.
Yeah, I think Pit Crew's probably
Eric-
the most
So say,
logical.
so say we all. Yeah, I believe that
Okay,
is.
let's do it. Pit crew.
It is Pit Crew.
They did have lovely underarms and overarms too. Whatever else you like.
Sidearm. Tasteful sidearm.
Whatever part of the arm you're into, they had it. And plenty
Right.
of it.
I like the pun. I like that they really committed to the theme of the drag race and the
Yeah.
pick. So like maybe that'll inspire me to finally catch an episode. Don't at me, fans.
don't at me, two people who are watching.
Fan. AJ, can we have another question?
Our next question. There's a broken trident on the flag of what Rihanna home country?
I have a Pavlovian response when someone says Rihanna. My brain goes, wag, 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 wag. So
You pronounce the K, isn't it? Wow, 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 wow.
Little hint of a K there.
Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah. I'm trying to think of a more appropriate Rihanna story, but the only one I have is from DJing a party on New Year's Eve at a hotel, and some drunk lady came up and said, "Hey, if you play Rihanna, I'll show you my boobs." And I'm like, "Why?"
Was that an offer or a threat?
I think it was a threat, honestly, because her boyfriend, who was like 8 feet tall, was standing behind her, like, "Yeah, show him your boobs, honey." And it was just like, I don't. I'll just play Rihanna. You don't
She's
have
a bad
to
negotiator. Yeah, you gotta start low and
incentivize it.
and haggle on that.
Yeah, like my job tonight is to play what you guys want to hear.
Start with like show you my earlobe, and then
Rihanna.
It's not like she walked up and was like, "Hey, if you play Cannibal Corpse," that's something that I would have to be incentivized to play at a party. Right. You know, but she's like, "Play Rihanna." I'm like, probably next in the queue anyway. So just keep your shirt on. But apparently Rihanna inspires nudity. That's my only experience with Rihanna in a live in-person setting.
I would like to point out that we have many Caribbean women at the top of the charts in the last decade, and people always confuse who's from which country. And I'm not going to say it's problematic, but it's not problematic. Mayonnaise golems.
What if people try harder to differentiate and they get better? They recognize like where they're deficient.
Jim Party.
As the appointed spokesman for Mayonnaise Golems, I do know that Rihanna is not from Trinidad. That's
right. In fact, I know where Rihanna is from, and I know Rihanna is from
Barbados.
Stay with me, Barbados.
Barbados.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And, real name Robin Fenty.
And do you know why I know that? Because it comes up in quiz every week. Every damn week, we talk about where Rihanna is from.
AJ, it's Barbados.
It is Barbados.
Speaking of Robin Fenty, check it out. Fenty
look
Beauty.
at that.
I keep Rihanna's lip gloss
close to your heart
at all times. By the power of Rihanna, I will have shiny lips. Yeah, our producer is saying I contributed to her $1 billion empire. But honestly, I have been out in public just like pulling out my lip gloss, being like, let me do some lip gloss more than once. And people have been like, Fenty by Rihanna. And I've been like, I know. So
$3 at a time, $3 at a time.
How much do you think lip gloss costs?
$3, obviously, because I just said it. Listen, do I look like somebody who needs lip gloss?
It's like 50, right? 50,
I think you probably do.
You would do really poorly on the prices, right?
No, I'm serious. Math and spatial relations. I'm not real good with any of the. Can't sculpt.
Consumer price index.
Consumer price index, not really my strong suit.
Brain surgery doesn't go well. Not a good idea.
I can knock things over unintentionally. That's a skill I have.
So you're a cat.
I tear packaging without trying when I'm trying
to
open it. Yeah. I fart myself awake sometimes, so that's a skill. I'll list it on my resume.
Getting weirder.
Yeah.
And
AJ,
more cat-like.
Get us out of here.
I'm just waiting for AJ.
Your next question, panel, is simultaneously both in and out of Naaim's wheelhouse. Principal Skinner and Ned Flanders are two of the many Simpsons characters voiced by what Spinal Tap bassist?
Okay, cool. All right, took me a second.
Okay, cool.
Took me. I have actually never seen this as Spinal Tap, but I have watched lots of Simpsons.
They appeared on a crossover episode. Spinal Tap actually played Springfield at one point, and then their bus crashed into a fiery wreck, and then there was sort of a cliffhanger from there.
Was the bus hanging off the cliff?
It was not. No, it just tumbled over as memory serves, and then lit on fire.
I guess here is where I admit that I'm really not a fan of The Simpsons at all, and have watched maybe a handful. It started when I was in junior high, and then so I watched it like a couple episodes back then, and my sister's ex-husband was one of those fanatics. Like, he would like quote things from Season 6, episode 12.
I'm no artist, but there's
what?
Homer.
Hey, look at that. Look at you go.
In like 40 seconds. That was really good.
That's my party trick, is I can do a kind of bad Homer and a kind of bad Bart.
Pretty good party trick.
Yeah. Could be worse.
Yeah.
It said Principal Skinner and Ned Flanders, and I was like, Simpsons. And then, of course, it got harder.
Simpsons. You're like my mom watching Jeopardy, just like trying to get an answer in. Like, true.
The vast majority of Simpsons characters voiced by two people. One of them is Hank Azaria, although they recently, I believe, took Apu away from him, which
they did.
Apu and Lenny.
Yeah.
Lenny.
There's also
Carl?
Dan Castellaneta.
Carl, yeah.
But there's
Probably
also the bassist for Spinal Tap. See, I have seen Spinal Tap.
Of course, he was really playing the bass. All the guys were really playing their instruments in Spinal Tap. All those guys are very talented.
There's Bart.
Hey, there's pretty decent Bart.
Yeah, see? There we go.
Bart on a mescaline trip.
I found out that sometimes I can do a Marge Simpson. Not right, like not on command.
That sounds like Marge Simpson now.
Very
old.
So Naaim,
Aurora Borealis concentrated entirely in your kitchen at this time of year.
Yes.
Anyway, Harry Shearer.
Harry Shearer
yes.
is my guess too.
The great Harry Shearer.
All right. I don't know, so we'll go with it.
It is Harry Shearer.
Yeah. Most of the rest of them are Hank Azaria, who is I haven't finished Brockmire yet, but I quite enjoyed Brockmire.
You know, here's the thing about Brockmire. Season 1 is gold. Everything after that is dog shit. It's a shame. It's a real shame.
I
Didn't
get where
they do
you're
a
coming
weird
from, but
time
I
jump in the third season?
They do, and I hate everything about anything past season 1. Season 2, I struggled through. Season 3 is just dog shit. I can't do it. And this is, I'll let you speak in just a second, Naaim. But because I got added and messaged and tagged in so many posts when that particular show first came on the air. Like, oh my God, this is your wheelhouse. You're going to totally love this. This is you on a TV. You're going to love this. And I did. I loved the first season.
Yeah.
And I watched it with a bottle of Sazerac Rye in my hand. And then after that, it was just like, I don't really like what I think they only expected one season.
They definitely only expected one season. And
it would have been really iconic.
Yeah. But I don't know. I like where it goes. And I like, the story is sort of him trying to better himself as a person and fucking up at it. I get it. I get what someone might not like about it, but I don't like Always Sunny or shows like that. And so like this is sort of like a reverse of that. It's a person who is terrible, who then is getting better and better. Not that you're terrible, Derek.
Oh, no, I am. But also he's not good at, like, if you look at the Michael Schur stuff, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and The Good Place, they play that so well. The characters become so much better. They're better people. They're more likable as the show wears on. And they're just not, I don't feel like they're doing it.
I agree that the writing in
Brockmire
Brockmire doesn't hold up to the Michael Schur stuff for sure.
Viewer, if you have never heard of this thing that they're talking about, I'm with you.
Yeah, please send help. While we're rambling, you have time to look it up.
Yeah, so this side of the screen is going to do our Brockmire podcast. And
fortunately, it's our first ad break
the entire time in Morse code.
And I think there will be no more of this in the second round, but who knows what happens.
We actually have one question left in this half.
So we're not going to break, Nicole. I'm sorry, but
yet I feel so
I'm
old.
so vexed.
You talked so much about Brockmire that you
it only felt like 5 questions. AJ, can you ask something I know?
Sure, I'm pretty sure this is right in your wheelhouse. The bestseller,
the IFC series Brockmire. Sorry.
The bestseller, The Devil in the White City, details the 1893 World's Fair in what city, as well as the serial killing that took place there.
H.H. Holmes, mofos.
Hungry Holmes. That's right.
Hungry Holmes. That was one of my favorite interstitials from the final Geek Bowl.
I love the podcast 99% Invisible. It's my favorite pod. It's so much my favorite pod that I listen to the episodes when they come out, and then I listen to them again when I can't sleep. And so sometimes I get like subliminal messaging from them. And I recently woke up to a conversation about the 1893 World's Fair.
That's so funny.
So
This is how we slumdog it.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, I must have learned it when I originally listened to it, but then I learned it again in my sleep, I think.
A lot of, was it the 18, was this one that were a lot of, was that the 1898 where like the hot dog bun and a bunch of other major inventions were introduced? Maybe that was
I think
1898.
the
the
ice cream
same-
cone was at 1904, which is St. Louis World's Fair.
Yeah, St. Louis World's Fair had a ton of things that changed our lives. Like, did you realize that they were just holding ground beef hamburgers in their hand and trying to eat them? Foolishness.
How often did they happen? Because I don't know that.
Yearly at one point. I think they still do. I think they still have a World's Fair somewhere every year.
We don't need that. We have the internet.
Yeah, well, it's,
I know
they
the
diminished in
1904 one
popularity.
was the 1904 one was in St. Louis because it was supposed to be in Chicago, and then the Olympics were in St. Louis, and they're like, you can't have a different world event in Chicago, and the Olympics are in St. Louis, so they stole the
They
World's
basically
Fair out
stole-
from Chicago.
Yeah, and then made the Olympics and the World's Fair very racist. A celebration of expansionism in the Louisiana Purchase and all the evils that came with it.
Yeah, I ignore that part.
Eric,
But
I'm
3
sorry.
seconds
This
to
is
go.
starting to sound like critical race theory.
I'm sorry.
But we're talking about, I'm pretty sure we're talking about Chi-Town.
Yeah.
It's got to be Chicago all the way.
All right. Chicago, Illinois.
It is Chicago.
This was the Columbia Exposition, right? Is what it's also called, or is that a different one?
Mhm.
It's one of the stars on the flag of Chicago.
It's from
Yeah.
that World's Fair?
It's from that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's 4
Ooh.
stars that represent 4 major events: the Columbia Exposition, the Great Chicago Fire, and then 2
The
other
St.
things that
Valentine's
people-
Day Massacre and the syphilis of Al Capone.
Sorry to our Chicago viewer.
Crappy
Alright.
pizza, Malert.
The Bartman Ball is one of them.
But the two blue lines are the rivers, and then those 4 stars. Again, I remember 2 of them. I don't remember the other 2. I live here, but I don't care that.
You know,
much
the
for this
fact
city.
that Chicago as a city sees fit to have a flag means that they're very, very, very stuck on themselves.
It's true, but it is a good flag. It's better than the Illinois flag.
And I have to say, of the major cities, Chicago is like top 5 for me. I like Chicago.
Okay, maybe we got our one Chicago viewer back, but now hopefully they'll stick around through this ad break. See you in a few. Welcome back to Technically Correct, and specifically to our second round, Technically Incorrect. First, though, remember that you can check out Geeks Who Drink pub quizzes in bars across America just about every night, and get a quick hit of trivia on YouTube every weekday around lunchtime. Make sure you subscribe to this channel before you go so you don't miss anything. We also have a whole quiz on Twitch every Monday night, and you can even book us. That's right, me, us, Naaim, Eric, Derek, if you're feeling spicy. If you want us to do a private quiz virtually or in person. For details on all that stuff, bookmark geekswhodrink.com. Follow us on the socials. Now it's time for Technically Incorrect. In this round, the panel will still have 2 minutes to answer each question, but there's no more teamwork. It's everyone for themselves. That means we'll be actively trying to psych each other out, and you should be too. Put your most plausible wrong answers in the chat, and we'll throw them in the mix. At the end of the timer, we'll all write down our answers and show them to see who's right, by which I mean we panelists will do that. You audience people can be wrong in the comfort of your own home. Also, I'm not sure what the rule is about drawings of Simpsons, but if there's a answer that's Bart Simpson, I think I might have it on lock.
If it's Homer from the Iliad, then can I draw Homer Simpson?
I'll allow it.
There we go. All right,
AJ
cool.
says it's okay. Let's get started. AJ, what's our first question?
Our first question of Technically Incorrect. According to the IBA, a whiskey sour consists of gum syrup, egg white, and what 2 ingredients?
Well, I mean, as an alcoholic, I know exactly what goes into this drink. And I love the fact that they're using the gum syrup. So antiquated. Right up your alley there, Eric.
What's gum syrup?
Gum syrup. It's a simple syrup with gum Arabic.
Oh, well then why is it spelled like that?
GOMME.
Yeah.
Gum syrup.
Very Middle English feel to it.
It is. Well, and it's an antiquated bar syrup, but some of the IBA recipes really are quite antiquated. But there's also really no way to improve on certain drinks.
Why fix it if it ain't broke?
Exactly.
So it gave us 2 pretty weird ingredients. If I was gonna ask this, I'd probably ask about gum syrup and, and the egg white. But like,
The question is, what % of people do you think are going to get gum syrup and egg white?
well, how hard is the question supposed to be?
Well, something must give it that the sour part, right?
It's
Sour
again.
Patch
Remember,
Kids.
I don't know if earlier. You remember when I said I bake with hate? You have to make it with spite in your heart, and that makes it sour.
That was pre-show though, so
a twist of lemon also might add some sourness, or cranberry juice.
What is more sour though, lemon or lime?
I don't know what kind of establishments you all drink in, but I feel like usually they just use sour mix. And I don't know how much we're counting that as an ingredient, but like, if you the dive around the corner.
If you are a complete Philistine, you can use Mr. and Mrs. T's sweet and sour.
That's what I mean.
Right. But complete Philistine. So, and I don't know, I feel like with your professional reputation, you're not a complete Philistine.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just saying. So I was in grad school. I couldn't afford these fancy IBA certified drinks. All right, show us your answers, team.
Lemon juice and bourbon, whiskey and lemon juice, lime juice and whiskey, lemon juice and whiskey, rye or bourbon. I did expect Derek to go down the rabbit hole on every possibility. The answers we were looking for were whiskey or bourbon and lemon juice.
I
I
definitely
think Derek talked
Eric,
you out of your answer there, Eric.
A little bit.
definitely saw Derek's answer and breathed a sigh of relief. I was like, all right, cool. We're good.
Yeah.
Look to the guy who drinks a lot.
Yeah.
So Derek, if you used Mr. and Mrs. T's because you were a Philistine, would you need the syrup and the lemon, or is it sweet? It's sweet and sour, so you don't need the syrup.
You would need just one more thing, and that would be a sword to commit seppuku. So a
Bring
nice
you out of
sharp
the
katana,
IBA.
evisceration, and then you're done.
Okay, so the answer is don't serve that in Derek's house.
If you care about your guests, just get some lemons, man. It's not
What if
that
you're
hard.
attending a college party? They won't know the difference.
You know what? You might enlighten them, and they go on to be, classier drunks.
All right. Before we get further shamed for our choice of beverage, like my hard seltzer here, can we get another question?
Absolutely. A jealous Johannes Kepler may have mercury poisoned his famous boss. What observatory operator?
We used to go to the observatory for field trips in school, but nobody got poisoned that I'm aware of.
Come to New Mexico.
Well, you were working there. So that's different.
Well, I'm sorry, I was what?
You were not working there.
No, I wasn't working there. I have never knowingly, legally poisoned anyone. I have to say legally that I have never poisoned anyone from a legal standpoint. Never. No one, not one person died by my hand legally.
I was poisoned with the lie that Pluto is a full planet.
Oh,
I can't believe they fell for that
I mean,
for so long. You
I
can
eat
why all
apple
the Pluto
seeds,
hate?
and they apparently have cyanide in them. So
who?
apple seeds,
Apples.
the apple seeds that I eat when
are
I'm
we
eating
back
full
on this
apples.
apple shit again?
Are you on your apple bullshit again?
I wasn't here for this, but don't eat the seeds.
It's fine. I've eaten, again, I've said this many times. I've eaten many apple seeds over the last 20 something years. And I've never had a problem. So
Yeah, I mean, you could eat a candy wrapper and survive too, but you shouldn't do it. It's not meant to be consumed.
Our regular viewers know that Naaim and Keo have a bond over how they eat the entire apple, including the fucking sticker, apparently. So
take the sticker off. I usually spit the seeds out too, but if they go down, then they go down.
Yeah. But I don't need that. I have an apple corer and I throw the core away like a normal human.
I actually have an elegant solution to both of these. Just don't eat apples. Just 86 them from your diet, and then you won't have this problem.
That's pretty un-American.
Is it?
It's the most American of fruits.
Hmm.
So observatory operators. Nicholas Copernicus, of course. The original.
Leibniz.
The undefeated.
Galileo. It's the guy that Weird Al played in the epic rap battles of history.
That's specific.
Newton, that's Newton.
All right.
Newton.
Show your answers.
Copernicus, Hayden, Tycho Brahe, and Eric's dog, Tycho Brahe.
My dog is named after him. That's true.
That
Oh,
is
for
a
real?
point
Yeah.
each
Yes.
for Derek and Eric with Tycho Brahe.
Yeah, that's unfair. I feel like that's
I mean, a little bit, but then again, if you're in meetings with somebody and they always talk about their pets, then you're gonna absorb information.
You remember
some
it
of us
well.
aren't in those meetings.
I'm sorry, but this is how I slumdogged that answer.
This isn't fair because we have never, not once, gotten a question about my dog's namesake.
Is your dog close enough to show us this poofy cloud of an animal?
Yeah, hold on. He
I know-
is dog cam here on the ground. There we go. He's just being a little fluffy. Hey, wake up. Look alive.
You could easily do a full show on Tycho Brahe, probably the most interesting man who ever lived. I just want to put it in there that he had a pet moose that he gave beer to until it fell down castle stairs and died.
Hey, there's a cat behind Eric. Look at that sleek little weasel.
So, but this dog is named Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Must have had a question.
No,
at
Dwayne The
some
Rock
point. He's
Dodson,
everywhere.
right?
Dogson, sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
Dogs.
Dogson. I'm sorry. Dwayne The
Oh,
Rock
never mind
Dogson.
I do find it interesting that you don't watch movies and named your dog after a movie star.
Also professional wrestler. Also
Yes,
he's
many, many
inspirational
things.
member of the
You know what
community.
That's
You know
true.
what I learned today?
He is a
Nicole
multi-hyphenate.
and my mom have a crush on the same professional wrestler.
The Undertaker?
The
Never
Undertaker.
said I have a crush on him. I respect his career.
Yep. And
Okay. Jumanji?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I own every Fast
was
and
the most
Furious movie on
recent,
Blu-ray.
Disney's
so-
Jungle Cruise ride. I like.
little classic called Southland Tales. Maybe you heard of it.
The filmography.
Was
is
that like the
undeniable.
last movie he had hair in?
I think has he both?
There was that one with him and Sean William Scott.
That was before Southland Tales. That was
Sure.
the one where Schwarzenegger, the Rundown. That's the one where Schwarzenegger does the quote unquote handoff to him in the opening scene.
Was Southland Tales before the other guys? 'Cause I think he had hair in the other guys.
It was before the other guys. He may have had hair in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Diana will look it up. Producer Diana will look it up and tell us.
We have fact checkers to correct us when we say dumb shit.
AJ, can we get a question about Naaim's pet's namesake? Whatever that is.
Sure. Dozens of pages of Frank Herbert's Dune books are filled with rants about what fictional drug?
You know, I'm not a sci-fi guy. However, I date a woman for whom sci-fi is very important. And I was told that I had to watch this movie. But at the end of it...
This story is slow.
It's moving real slow.
Much like the film itself.
Nobody else was talking.
Much like the film itself, that's true.
Yeah, at the end of it, I was not to give my opinion. Not to her. So I started posting it in our Slack. And not a big fan. Just because it's not my genre. It's not my genre at all. It's fine. You know, it changed some people's lives. The book apparently is amazing. It inspired so much stuff that came after it, and I'm just like,
this is the new version.
The new version. Yeah, the new version.
Because the David Lynch version is a trip, and well
I've
worth
heard
watching for its.
I've heard that there are pugs. I've heard that there's pugs in the David Lynch version.
It's true, there are.
I saw this movie and stayed awake primarily because I'm biracial and we have to love Zendaya, even though she was like barely there.
Oh, so well, I'm glad you brought this up.
I committed for her.
See, one of my negative reactions that I posted that I did not tell my girlfriend, but I told the Slack channel was 100% solid, amazing cast except for Zendaya.
Get out of here with that shit.
I have never seen somebody more wooden in a role, more pathetically wooden in one role than Zendaya. I was so disappointed.
2 minutes, leave her alone.
It's very.
She's not in it for 2 minutes. She's in it like the entire time.
No, she's not. It's a stoic role. I mean, you know, give her time. She'll be in the second part a lot more.
Okay, all right. I mean, I don't want to watch it, but I'm going to have to. So
check out the David Lynch version. You'll have a good time.
You know what? Thank you. No, I'll watch Midnight Run again for the 1200th time.
If you like shirtless Sting, and who doesn't, that's the film for you.
All right, put them up. Answers, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Spice all around. Spice or melange was the correct answer.
They don't call
the
it
worm is the
melange
spice.
in
The spice
film.
is the worm.
Oh.
Spice is sort of a colloquialism for it. So
I think you'll find.
Oh, you actually.
It's worm poops.
Also a synthetic marijuana?
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
Not to be confused. It will not give you blue eyes. A different color altogether. You'll get for that one.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Stay in school.
Crack is whack.
I did realize back on the pet discussion for a second that I should get a parakeet and name it Larry Bird. Anyway, let's move on.
Please. There must be one already, but like.
Oh, I'm sure, but like, I'm sure there's also another dog named Rocky.
There's many dogs named Rocky, but I don't think there's that many dogs named Dwayne.
Yeah, Dwayne is a human name. It's like I always wanted to get, you know, if I had a pet that I got from like a baby, because pets always just my pets. Animals just seem to find me as an adult, so I didn't get to name them. But I was just like, oh, name it Ray Brower, which is the dead kid from Stand By Me, because eventually it's going to get hit by a train. You know, that's
Eric.
Right.
Who hurt you?
I'm fine, thank you.
A goat that hit by a train, it goes on and on.
My lord.
It never ends.
Before we learn more about his traumatic past, can we get another question?
Before Derek depresses us more, in 2008, Stephanie Courtney first donned that stupid apron to annoy us as the still-going mascot of what company?
You know, this particular insurance company can eat a bag of dicks.
Spoilers, Derek.
I'm sorry. I'm sure we should be angling for sponsors, so maybe I should back it up. If you want to pay us money, don't. But
But
since you don't,
Unless you
didn't
want to.
listen to my
But since you don't-
explanation of how technically incorrect works.
I know. I'm figuring it out.
Well, you didn't say which company.
I didn't say
it
which
was.
You
But-
really narrowed it down.
I did narrow it down.
Maybe he really hates.
You know, I hate that emu so much. God, that emu.
It's real smug. That's why I don't care.
What a
That
hunk
gecko.
of
That
dog crap.
gecko.
No, I had this particular insurance company for a while, and then they hiked my rates up like crazy, and I'm like, but I didn't deserve that. I just drove my car.
Into a building.
How
No, I'm a
dare
pretty
you?
safe driver. I pretty decently as an
Drive into
adult.
2 empty swimming pools and they're all over you.
They
Our
were empty.
producer is saying that you got a bundle. That's where you went
I'm
wrong.
gonna get the home and
Didn't
The
auto.
show really is
Home and auto.
entertainment.
Yeah, that's how you lower your insurance premiums, children,
Don't
by
do
having
drugs.
more things to insure. The more money you pay them, the less money that you have to pay them. So you're paying them a set amount of money, and then you pay them more money, and so then that's where the savings come in. The more money you pay them more, and ostensibly you're paying them less.
As they say, mo money, mo problems.
99, and actually, I just have 100 problems.
Oh. Well, one of them is not that you don't know the answer to this question, because you clearly know the answer to this question. You didn't even try to psych us out.
Oh, I haven't even said it. I haven't said the words.
No, but we know you know.
Well, yeah, could you
No,
read my mind, Nicole Holliday?
Yeah, I know too.
Talking like
Is that-
somebody who knows.
It could be an elaborate mind game like you'd find in the movie Dune.
That's right.
With starring
Here's
Zendaya and a sterling performance.
Yeah.
Farmers.
Thank you. All right, put them up.
Progressive all around. That is correct. In
I still call it the
Progressive's
Jake, though.
defense, they only charge me $40 a month to cut full coverage on my motorcycle.
Oh.
But you have what kind of motorcycle are you driving nowadays?
Royal Enfield Himalayan.
And a little bird came to my home and told me that you have a new sticker on that motorcycle.
I do. I actually have a sticker of you on my motorcycle.
I know. You want to talk about reciprocal? He's got a sticker that looks like that. Look at me. Look at my face. Look at me. Look at my face. Look at me. Look at my face. I have stickers.
I was going
Is-
to tell a cool story about Progressive, but now it seems lame, so.
You have stickers with your face on it?
No,
Because you're not a
Um,
narcissist, Nicole.
I was going to shamelessly self-promote though, so thanks for opening the door. I have a podcast. It's called Spectacular Vernacular. If you have to listen to ads because you are not a subscriber, you will hear ads from only 2 companies, and one of them is Progressive, and I always read the Progressive one. So I am a occasional Progressive spokesperson, like the woman with the apron.
We're very sorry.
do you wear an
Progressive. You would
apron
like
when
to
you're reading
sponsor
that?
this tiny little program?
I don't wear the apron.
A lot of side hustles. Are you guys not getting 80,000 a year for this show?
Naaim, what are you showing us?
I'm showing
my
your
pod.
wonderful podcast, Spectacular Vernacular. It's hard to see on a phone screen on a camera.
Yeah. Well, if you like language stuff, go over there and listen to me read Progressive ads, among other things. AJ, is this question 5?
This is the final question.
I did it. I
wow.
counted.
Speaking of languages, in 1921, the League of Nations almost voted that all the world's school children should learn what 19th century language?
You know, there's only a handful of dead languages in the world.
That's not
And
true
I'm
at
sure
all, is it?
Nicole,
No, there's a lot. They die all the time.
they die all the time. And Nicole knows way more than I'm just trying to mislead somebody like Naaim. So, you know, I would appreciate if you
This
didn't
is-
step in with your expertise.
Wait, this is an Esperanto?
Why would you think it would be Esperanto? And is that a 19th century language?
No.
Why would the League
I
of
was,
Nations make everyone learn it?
I was doing a bit.
I like in the chat, Tinbeck says Sumerian.
Yeah, that sounds Aramaic.
Maybe it's the 19th century BC.
I mean, they were using it. Someone used the 19th century.
I'm so glad that they did not succeed because this is a very bad idea. Because when you take away people's language, you take away their culture and history. That is a cultural erasure.
If I remember this proposal, it was that they learn it everyone had to learn it as a second language.
Yeah, but what happens when you have a de facto lingua franca?
What I will say, yeah, because I know my parents did a lot of like when they were growing up in Pakistan, like you had to learn in English, like the schools were taught in English, and that's affected like my maybe my mom and not my dad, or maybe my older brother, one of the three. I don't remember exactly what, because my dad's Urdu is really, really good. My mom's is not as good, but good. And like obviously my grandparents is excellent. They all speak very good conversational, but like my grandpa writes poetry, right? And my dad writes poetry, and my mom doesn't understand all the poetry. She understands a lot of it. She understands a lot more of it than I do. But so
anyway, what's happened since? Well, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people got forced to learn English because colonialism, whiteness, problematic, et cetera. But also, it sort of accelerates the move away from languages that are seen as less economically viable, which causes people to abandon like traditional cultures and ways of knowing, and like also language rights are parts of human rights. And so it's just a bad thing to make people not speak their language in general. But anyway, show us your answers.
Oh, what Esperanto? I wrote nothing. I had nothing.
Oh, you were right.
I know.
You knew all along.
Yeah, I knew all along, and I
didn't
just,
know, so I
dumb.
took your answer.
Also, fun fact about Esperanto, it's not anybody's language. So like in a certain way, it's kind of like more fair.
Is it like
because it's
is it like a pigeon, like just a hybrid?
I remembered your Esperanto rant from like 6 months ago.
Romantic structure.
This is my biannual Esperanto rant.
Okay.
It's invented. It's invented like Klingon or Dothraki or anything else. But it's invented based on Romance languages. So like, in fact, if you were a speaker of Spanish, Italian, or French, it would be easier for you to acquire. And also like, if you were Anglophone, like anything that was like Indo-European would help to varying extents, but like you're pretty screwed if your language is like, I don't know, Mandarin or anything else like that.
Imagine the League of Nations being Eurocentric. That's so weird of
right?
them to do.
No, not them. So that's one of the problems. But also, people have been trying to make Esperanto happen since before this, and like it doesn't happen. Just give up the ghost.
Never quite did. Yeah, they still print books in Esperanto. I've seen them.
Yeah, and like people have conferences and stuff, but like it's not anybody's language because that's not how language works. All right, I've stepped off my soapbox. I've stopped doing my day job. I think that means we're all out of questions. So we have one piece of business that we have to do for you all, audience, and that is you need to vote for the winner of our show. AJ's going to pop up a poll, and you can choose the panelists who you thought did the best job tonight by whatever criteria you'd like. But before then, there is one quantifiable measurement available to us. AJ, who scored the highest during the technically incorrect round?
Scoring the highest and technically incorrect and keeping his perfect streak going is Derek.
Woo! Woo! I'd like to thank Naaim for giving me an answer that I had no clue.
Naaim, why'd you do us like that?
Because I was lost, and I was like, I don't know, I'm just going to write down what Naaim said. Sounded good.
I thought it sounded stupid. Turns out it was stupid, but like for the wrong reason.
Hey, I was out. I'm like, 19th century? Man, so many languages are older than that. I'm going with it. And
panel, remember that Eric knows the answers, or at one point did.
I thought I did, yeah. Booze is not my strong suit at all.
So that was rough, but Derek remains undefeated, which means that next time, AJ and our producer Diana, I expect questions that Derek definitely doesn't know.
Throw it all sci-fi, man. That's outside of my sci-fi literature, poetry. I don't know. I could think of the things that I don't do well at.
But you, audience, you can choose your favorite. You could vote for Naaim, like Homer Simpson says. You could do whatever you want. But either way, we're going to find out who is right after one more little bit break. Sure, why not? Little bitty break. See you in a few. Okay, audience, remember that the fun doesn't stop when we reveal our winner. You can see everything else we're up to at geekswhodrink.com and by following us on Facebook, Twitter, the Gram, YouTube. Like and subscribe. You know what to do. Without further ado, AJ, who is our winner?
Our winner tonight with 50% of the vote is Eric Keel.
Hey.
Wow, people like Eric.
I'd like to thank all my friends from Livonia for stacking the vote. We made it, boys. Top of the mountain.
He knew the answers, didn't get all the answers, but still won the popular vote.
Yep, and that's what matters.
What could possibly be more American? Well, team, and hi, Pio's mom, if you're still here. We love to see you. Thanks for making it to the end. Thanks for watching as always, and make sure you come back next week to find out who is still technically correct and if it's Eric or Derek or someone else.
Technically Correct was filmed in front of a live internet audience.